The Rainbow Fish by Mark Pfister, translated by J. Allison James. A long way out in the deep blue sea, there lived a fish. Not just an ordinary fish, but the most beautiful fish in the entire ocean. His scales were every shade of blue and green and purple, with sparkling silver scales among them. The other fish were amazed at his beauty. They called him Rainbow Fish.
"Come on, Rainbow Fish!"
they would call.
"Come and play with us!"
But the Rainbow Fish would just glide past, proud and silent, letting his scales shimmer. One day, a little blue fish followed after him.
"Rainbow Fish!"
he called.
"Wait for me! Please give me one of your shiny scales. They are so wonderful, and you have so many." "You want me to give you one of my special scales? Who do you think you are?"
cried the Rainbow Fish.
"Get away from me!"
Shocked, the little blue fish swam away. He was so upset, he told all his friends what had happened. From then on, no one would have anything to do with the Rainbow Fish. They turned away when he swam by. What good were the dazzling, shimmering scales with no one to admire them? Now he was the loneliest fish in the entire ocean. One day he poured out his troubles to the starfish.
"I really am beautiful. Why doesn't anybody like me?" "I can't answer that for you,"
said the starfish.
"But if you go beyond the coral reef to a deep cave, you will find the wise octopus. Maybe she can help you."
The Rainbow Fish found the cave. It was very dark inside and he couldn't see anything. Then suddenly, two eyes caught him in their glare and the octopus emerged from the darkness.
"I have been waiting for you,"
said the octopus with a deep voice.
"The waves have told me your story. This is my advice. Give a glittering scale to each of the other fish. You will no longer be the most beautiful fish in the sea, but you will discover how to be happy." "I can't,"
the Rainbow Fish started to say, but the octopus had already disappeared into a dark cloud of ink.
"Give away my scales? My beautiful shining scales? Never! How could I ever be happy without them?"
Suddenly, he felt the light touch of a fin. The little blue fish was back.
"Rainbow Fish, please don't be angry. I just want one little scale."
The Rainbow Fish wavered.
Only one very, very small shimmery scale,"
he thought.
"Well, maybe I wouldn't miss just one."
Carefully, the Rainbow Fish pulled out the smallest scale and gave it to the little fish.
Thank you! Thank you very much!"
The little blue fish bubbled playfully as he tucked the shiny scale in among his blue ones. A rather peculiar feeling came over the Rainbow Fish. For a long time he watched the little blue fish swim back and forth with his new scale glittering in the water. The little blue fish whizzed through the ocean with his scale flashing, so it didn't take long before the Rainbow Fish was surrounded by the other fish. Everyone wanted a glittering scale. The Rainbow Fish shared his scales left and right, and the more he gave away, the more delighted he became. When the water around him filled with glimmering scales, he at last felt at home among the other fish. Finally, the rainbow fish had only one shining scale left. His most prized possessions had been given away, yet he was very happy.
"Come on, rainbow fish,"
they called.
"Come and play with us."
"Here I come," said the rainbow fish, and happy as a splash, he swam off to join his friends. The Watermelon Seed by Greg Pizzoli.
I love watermelon. Chomp, chomp, chomp. It's the best. Ever since I was a teeny tiny baby crocodile, it's been my favorite. Chomp, slurp, chomp. I like it for breakfast. I like it for lunch. I like a big salty slab for dinner. And I love it for dessert. I love watermelon. Gulp. I just swallowed a seed. I swallowed a seed. It's growing in my guts. Soon, vines will be coming out of my ears. My stomach will stretch. My skin will turn pink. I don't want to be a fruit salad. Somebody, please help me. Grumble, grumble. Oh no! I can feel it growing inside me. It's happening right now. My stomach feels funny. Burp. Oh, here's the seed. That was too close. No more melon for me. Never again. Well, maybe just a teeny tiny bite. Chomp, chomp, chomp.
How I Became a Pirate, written by Melinda Long, illustrated by David Shannon.
Pirates have green teeth, when they have any teeth at all. I know about pirates because one day, when I was at the beach building a sandcastle and minding my own business, a pirate ship sailed into view. I knew what it was because its flag had a skull and crossbones on it, and because I could hear the pirates singing, "Hey ho, blow the man down." They were a little off key. I tried to tell Dad, but he was busy setting up the beach umbrella. I tried to tell Mom, but she was busy slathering my baby sister with sunblock. So I went back to my sandcastle, but I kept an eye on the pirates. By then, they were rowing to shore. When they landed, the head pirate climbed out of the boat and yelled,
"Ahoy there, matey! Be this the Spanish Main?"
"No," I said. "This is North Beach."
"Shiver me timbers," the pirate said. "We must have taken a wrong turn at Bora Bora."
He walked around my sandcastle. He looked at the boat, then yelled back to his crew,
"He's a digger, he is, and a good one to boot."
"A good one to boot," the others agreed.
"What be your name, matey?"
the head pirate asked. "Jeremy Jacob, sir," I told him.
"Well, Jeremy Jacob," he said, "you're looking at Braidbeard and his crew. We've been needing a digger like yourself. We've a chest of treasure to bury."
"Aye, treasure!" the others shouted.
"You're coming with us,"
Braidbeard told me. I didn't think Mom and Dad would mind, as long as I got back in time for soccer practice the next day. That's how I became a pirate. As soon as we were on board, Braidbeard showed me the chest of gold and jewels.
"Got to find a safe place for this here treasure. It's high time we were off,"
he announced. "We're off!" we all shouted, and then we set sail. There was plenty to do on board. The pirates taught me to sing sea chanties, the louder the better, and to say real pirate stuff like landlubber and scurvy dog. By dinner time, I could speak pirate perfectly. I also learned pirate manners. Braidbeard pounded his fists on the table and yelled,
"Doon the hatch, my laddies! Doon the hatch!"
we all shouted. Braidbeard gulped his food and said,
"Hand over the meat!"
"The meat!" we all roared. Nobody told us to finish our spinach. There wasn't any. Or to chew up our carrots. They weren't allowed on board. We talked with our mouths full, and nobody said please or thank you. After dinner, I tried to teach the pirates to play soccer. Braidbeard kicked the ball and yelled,
"Arg, sucker!"
"Arg, sucker!" the crew yelled. Then everybody dove for the ball at once, and it rolled right off the deck.
"After it, me hearties!"
Braidbeard commanded. "After it?" we all whispered. We fought over who would go get the ball, but it didn't matter anyway, because a shark came along and swallowed it in one gulp. So much for soccer. By now it was past my bedtime, but nobody tells pirates to go to bed, to take a bath, or to brush their teeth. Maybe that's why their teeth are green. Pirates sleep with one eye open, just in case. And they don't change into pajamas unless they want to. Pirates don't do anything they don't want to, except for maybe swabbing the decks. I wanted to be a pirate forever. But then I found out what else they don't do. When I couldn't stay awake any longer, I asked Braidbeard to tuck me in and read me a story.
"Tuck you in?"
he bellowed.
"Pirates don't tuck."
"No tookin'," the crew cried. And the only thing they had to read was a map. "Don't you have any books?" I asked. Braidbeard looked confused.
"Books?"
I didn't even bother to ask about a goodnight kiss. It wasn't easy to fall asleep without a story, but I was finally dozing off when a storm broke. Thunder boomed and lightning flashed. I tried to hide under the covers as waves slammed up against the ship, but I kept falling out of my hammock. I couldn't find anyone in the cabin. They were all on deck.
"Lower the sails!"
Braidbeard shouted.
"Batten down the hatches!"
Everybody ran around yelling and lowering and battening. Nobody had time to sit close and tell me it would be over soon. Nobody even noticed me. I decided that I didn't want to be a pirate after all. Just then, flash, crash, crack! Lightning hit the mast and split it right down the middle. "What'll we do now?" yelled one of the pirates.
"We'll have to turn back,"
called another.
"But the treasure!"
hollered Braidbeard.
"Where will we bury the treasure?"
I stepped forward. "Maybe I can help," I shouted over the wind. "I think I know the perfect digging spot." When the storm was over, we rowed back to shore and buried the chest. We drew a map so we could find the treasure again, but I don't think I'll need it. After that, the pirates repaired the ship and got ready to set sail. Before they left, Braidbeard handed me a flag and said,
"You make a fine pirate, Jeremy Jacob. Guard that treasure well. We'll be back to get it soon enough."
"Soon enough," the crew repeated.
"And if you ever need us,"
Braidbeard added,
"just run the Jolly Roger up yonder pole."
"Up yonder pole," the others shouted. And maybe I will, but not today. I have soccer practice.
Me First by Helen Lester, illustrated by Lynn Munsinger. Pinkerton was pink, plump, and pushy. He would do anything to be first, even if it meant bouncing off bellies, stepping on snouts, or tying tails. "Me first!" he cried when he had been last in line and finished first down the slide.
"Me first!"
he cried at Storytime, settling on his round bottom with his big head right smack in front of the book. And every day in the school troughateria, "Me first!" rang out, and there was Pinkerton. One Saturday, Pinkerton's Pig Scout troop went on a day trip to the beach. Pinkerton was first on the bus and sat in the front row. He was first off the bus. first in the water, first out of the water, and first into the picnic basket. After lunch, the Pig Scouts decided to go for a hike. Off they went with Pinkerton leading the line, of course. As the Pig Scouts marched across the sand, they heard a faint voice far in the distance. The voice called out,
"Who would care for a sandwich?"
Pinkerton pricked up his pointy ears. Care for a sandwich?
"Oh, yes, me first,"
he thought, and he began to trot ahead of the others. Soon he heard the voice again, closer and louder this time.
"Who would care for a sandwich?"
Me first,
cried Pinkerton, kicking up sand and leaving the other Pig Scouts far behind. His imagination almost burst. Peanut butter, jelly, 2 tomatoes, 7 pickles, a slab of cheese, a blob of mayo, a big smear of mustard, all for
me first.
"Who would care for a sandwich?"
Now at a full gallop, Pinkerton shrieked,
Me first!
Over a sandy hill he flew, and kerplop! He landed face to face with a small creature with a bump on her nose and fur on her toes.
"Am I glad to see you?" she cackled. "I sure could hear you coming. Me first, me first, me first. I guess you really would care for a sandwich."
Oh, yes, indeed,
replied Pinkerton. He jumped up and down so fast his teeth jiggled.
"Good,"
cackled the small creature. Pinkerton waited. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds.
"Well?"
he asked.
"Well, what?"
replied the small creature.
the sandwich.
Begged Pinkerton.
Where's the sandwich?
The small creature curtsied.
"You're looking at her."
She went on.
"I am a sandwich, and I live in the sand, and you said you would care for a sandwich, so here I am. Care for me."
All Pinkerton could say was,
"But I—"
Taking no notice, the sandwich continued.
"You said me first. You wanted to be the first to care for me. Well, congratulations. Now just come along to my sand castle."
Grabbing Pinkerton firmly by the sleeve, she led him around a few bends. Before he could say,
"But I—"
again, the gate to her castle closed.
"All right, my pink, plump, and pushy one. Now you care for me. You may have the honor of being the first to powder my nose and comb my toes."
Seeing no way out, Pinkerton powdered her nose and combed her toes.
"Next," she crowed, "you may be the first to put my supper in a bucket and feed me with a shovel."
Pinkerton looked around. He had no choice. He put her supper in a bucket and fed her with a shovel. Rubbing her tummy, the sandwich spoke on.
"Finally, after you've had the privilege of being the first to wash my dishes and sweep my castle and do my laundry and curl my hair and tuck me in, you may be the first to tell me a bedtime story."
Pinkerton washed the dishes, swept the castle, did the laundry, curled the sandwich's hair, and tucked her in. The sandwich stretched and yawned loudly.
"Now the story. I need my story."
Pinkerton was so tired he could barely speak.
"I don't know any stories,"
he whimpered.
"Then how about making up something? Oh, how about something concerning a pushy pig who always
Pinkerton sighed and began.
Once upon a time, there lived a pig who always wanted to be first, until one day he met a wise sandwich. Wise and beautiful,
cut in the sandwich.
A wise and beautiful sandwich who showed him that first was not always best. Aha!
Cackled the sandwich. She gave Pinkerton a slow, serious, and meaningful wink.
Have you learned something? Oh, yes, yes, yes,
said Pinkerton.
I promise I have. In that case, thanks for the care. Goodbye and good luck.
She opened the gate and Pinkerton sped off so fast he didn't even notice the delicious sandwich she held out to him. He was just in time to catch the bus. On he scooted, pink, plump, and glad to be last. When a Dragon Moves In, written by Jody Moore, illustrated by Howard McWilliam. If you build a perfect sandcastle, a dragon will move in. He'll settle in all cozy and peep at you from inside. And you'll wonder how you ever got so lucky. With a dragon in your castle, you'll have a built-in marshmallow toaster. Your very own raft. And a kite that practically flies itself. Best of all, no beach bully would dare stomp your castle with a dragon inside.
Oh! Ah!
Of course, there are rules on the beach, so you'll have to hide his smoke from the lifeguard and erase the dragon prints from the sand. Eventually, you'll want to share the great news with your family.
There's a dragon in my castle!
You'll call to your mom. Mm-hmm, she'll answer.
Listen to him roar!
You'll say. I hear the roar of the ocean, she'll reply.
See this feather from my dragon's wing?
You'll ask your dad. That's a nice seagull feather, he'll say. And you know what feathers are good for.
Feel my dragon's sharp teeth!
You'll shout.
Those are just broken shells,
your big sister will say. But you and your dragon will know better. Just about then, your dragon will demand to be fed. First, he'll eat all the peanut butter sandwiches, even the ones that were supposed to be for your sister.
Ah!
Then his fiery snout will make the lemonade sizzle. Stop blowing bubbles in your drink, your mom will say.
That wasn't me,
you'll answer.
That was the dragon.
And you'll hear a heh from deep inside the sandcastle. Finally, since dragons love dessert, he'll slink into the family cooler and nibble the brownies when no one is looking. Whose fingerprints are in the brownies? Your dad will ask.
Not fingerprints,
you'll try to explain.
Dragon prints. There's no such thing as a dragon,
your sister will say. Then your dragon will snicker again. And spray sand all over her. "Young man, I don't think this is funny," your mom will say.
That wasn't me,
You'll answer.
it was the dragon.
"I think we've had enough of this dragon business," your dad will say.
I guess I've had enough of this dragon business too.
You'll sigh. Then you'll march over to your sandcastle and order your dragon to leave until he learns some manners. And you will vow never to build a perfect sandcastle again. At least until tomorrow. Sammy the Seasick Pirate, written by Janelle Springer Wilms, illustrated by Damian Jones. Sammy wanted nothing more in the world than to be a pirate captain when he grew up, just like his papa. So he made a list of all the things pirates do. He would learn to do them too. Papa taught him how. Well, kind of. Papa threw Sammy off a pier and shouted,
"Swim, lad, swim!"
Number 1. Pirates can swim. Luckily, Sammy was born to swim and made it safely to shore. Number 2. Pirates use swords. Sammy found a bow and arrow with the swords in the shed.
This is so much cooler than his sword.
Papa taught him to aim and shoot. Sammy got so good that he shot apples off the kitchen table from 10 paces away.
Sammy,
Yelled Mama.
clean up this mess.
When he was done mopping, Sammy checked off Number 3. Pirates swab the deck. Number 4. Pirates dig for gold.
"There are 2 coins in the yard, hidden under a tree.
Papa told him.
When you find 'em, it's ice cream for you and ice cream for me."
Sammy dug holes all over the yard. Wide ones, thin ones, deep ones, and shallow ones.
Sammy!
Yelled Mama when she fell into one accidentally. He refilled the holes as fast as he could and ticked off Number 5. Pirates cover their tracks. Number 6. Pirates hide their treasures. Sammy gave Papa the map he drew.
There's a treasure in the house. X marks the spot.
"Sammy!
Shouted Papa when he found it.
Quick, lad, get the brush and some water. Ye be in trouble if your mama sees this."
They worked hard to scrub the crayon X off the floor. Then Sammy ticked off Number 7. Pirates work together with their crew. Number 8. Pirates can sail.
"Listen up, me hearties. Sammy be joining us today. Teach him all you know. He'll be part of the crew someday,"
Announced Papa.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Aye, Captain.
Sammy helped to hoist the sails, he plugged the holes, he read a map, and he even helped steer the ship. Everything was going well until the sky grayed. The winds blew strongly and the sea got choppy. Grumble went Sammy's tummy. With a bump over the next wave, his tummy went swish, then slosh, and Sammy threw up.
"Sammy, ye be seasick. Climb up to the crow's nest and look at the horizon,"
said Papa. Sammy did as he was told.
It's working!
He called down, but then the wind changed and the ship rocked. Sammy's tummy rumbled and it tumbled, then it went swish, then slosh, and Sammy threw up all over the crew.
Arr!
They shrieked.
"Turn the ship around,"
Commanded Papa. Later that evening, Papa found Sammy sitting in darkness in his favorite grove of coconut trees.
"Sammy, you tried your best,"
He said, hanging some lanterns in the trees.
You can't help the seasickness. Look at all the things you learned. I'm proud of you, lad.
Papa's words didn't cheer up Sammy.
I'll never be a pirate if I can't sail.
That night, a loud crash woke him up. He looked outside. Everything was dark except for the coconut patch with the hanging lanterns.
I'll check it out tomorrow,
thought Sammy. At sunrise, Sammy ran down to the beach. There, he saw something shining in the sand. It was a gold coin. A few steps away, he found another coin. Then another. The beach was full of coins. He looked up and saw a wrecked ship stuck on the reef, and an idea hit him. Sammy ran home with the coins jingling in his pockets.
Papa, I've got it!
Shouted Sammy.
I'm gonna hunt for gold on land and loot shipwrecks.
Yo ho ho! Me boy's a genius.
Papa said, throwing him in the air.
You'll be a land pirate then.
That very same day, Sammy started a new list. The captain of the land pirates must have Number 1, a crew of pirates that can't go to sea. Number 2, a lookout. Number 3, a place to hide the gold. Number 4, shipwrecks to loot.
Now how can I wreck a ship?
He asked himself.
Yo ho ho! I've got an idea!
Grinned Sammy.
Hello, Ocean. Written by Pam Munoz Ryan. Illustrated by Mark Estrella.
Hello, Ocean, my old best friend. I'm here with the 5 of me again. I see the ocean, gray, green, blue, a chameleon, always changing hue. Amber seaweed, speckled sand, bubbly waves that kiss the land. Wide open water before my eyes, reflected in a bowl of skies. Glistening tide pools and secret nooks, I love the way the ocean looks. I hear the ocean. A lion's roar, crashing rumors toward the shore. Water shushing and rushing in, then whispering back to the sea again. Froggy songs from distant boats, gentle clangs from bobbing floats. Skreek of gulls calling down. I love the way the ocean sounds. I touch the ocean, and the surf gives chase, then wraps me in a wet embrace. Pulling, pushing, the restless sea repeats the same refrain to me. Waves that pounce in rowdy play, tide that tickles with splashing spray. Squishy, sandy, soggy ground, slippery seaweed that wraps around. Sudden breezes that make me squeal. I love the way the ocean feels. I smell the ocean, the fresh salt wind, wafting lotions from sun-tanned skin. Aromas from some ancient tale disclose their news when I inhale. Reeky fish from waters deep, fragrant ore from holes dug steep. Drying kelp and musty shells, I love the way the ocean smells. I taste the ocean and wonder why it tastes like tears I sometimes cry. Sandy grains in a salty drink are best for fish and whales, I think. I lick the drops still on my face. I love the way the ocean tastes. The sun dips down. It's time to go, but I'll be back to see your show. Hear the stories you have to spin. Taste your flavors once again. Take deep sniffs of briny air and feel the treasures you have to share. Goodbye, ocean, my old best friend. Cousins, written and illustrated by Marnie Reynolds Bourke. Everyone has cousins.
A cousin can be your first best friend and remain your best friend for life. Cousins are at holiday celebrations, picnics, and birthday parties.
Sometimes you're lucky to go on trips with them, too.
But how are cousins family? Sometimes it's because your parents have a sibling, or your grandparents have siblings.
And sometimes it's because your parents are the best of friends.
Sometimes cousins grow up and move far away. And sometimes they live all over the world. Where do your cousins live? But no matter how far apart they are, cousins are wonderful to have.
Whether it's 1 or 20, a cousin is a forever friend.
The End. Blackout by John Rocco.
It started out as a normal summer night. The city was loud and hot. And then he said, inside, everyone was busy. Get out! Much?
Sorry.
Too
Busy.
And then the lights went out. All of them. Mom! Nothing worked at all. The city was dark and quiet and still. We huddled around flashlights and candles. Ruff, ruff. until it was too hot and sticky to sit inside. Can we go? So we went up and up and up to the rooftop and found the lights. Whoa! And people. It was a block party in the sky. We waved to everyone, then heard other sounds below. So we went down and down and down to the street. Come on! A party was going on there too. Free! Yippee! And no one was busy at all. When the lights came back on, everything went back to normal. But not everyone likes normal. I gotta go. Good idea, buddy. The end.
Dear Aunt Natalie. Written by Carrie Dean Potash. Illustrated by Julia Edwards. Dear Aunt Natalie, today at camp we had a barbecue. The burgers were good, like Dad's, only a little meatier. The nights have been fun. We sit around the campfire telling ghost stories and sharing strange tales. My hair has gotten very long since I've been here. I'm thinking of coloring it blue or purple or pink. Or maybe I'll do something completely different with my hair.
You're so cute.
Whoa! What are those?
Do you remember the summer I forgot to bring underwear to camp? Well, don't worry. This time I remembered to pack several pairs. Speaking of not having underwear, I jumped in the lake yesterday and my bathing suit slipped right off. I was bare naked. Oh, and as you might imagine, the lake was chilly. Tomorrow morning, we are waking up very early to see if we can spot a snowy owl. I sure hope I find one. Last time I looked in the trees, but I saw none. William, one of the counselors, warned that when you see none in the trees, it's usually a bad sign. And it was right at that moment that a wild boar picked up our scent and chased us through the forest.
Excuse me, is this yours?
To make matters worse, the bus we took from our campsite got a flat tire on the way home, so we had to call a tow truck.
Woohoo!
Camp has been intense. On Friday, we have our first movie night of the summer. It's called Vampire Dad. It's about a vampire dad and his vampire son, and all of the crazy adventures they go on. Have you seen it? Did you know there's only one way to defeat a vampire? It's with a stake. I hope my bunkmate Sam decides to go to the movie with me. He's been very sad and homesick. He spends most of his nights looking at photos from home and wailing. Did I mention I won the pie eating contest? I broke the camp record for most pies ever eaten. The camp newspaper put my incredible feat on the front page. I asked my counselor when you and Mom can visit me at camp, and he told me which day would be best. Well, I'd love to write more, but we have another big day tomorrow. I better get ready for bed. I'm so excited that we get to see each other on Sunday. Your loving nephew, Carrie Dean.